Hey guys, George Diamondyard Sports Cards coming at you with another video. Well, happy Friday to everybody. Hope everybody's going to have a good weekend. I know there's a lot of guys that are headed or in Strongsville enjoying the show right now. Lou Rock did a video about this a couple days ago. I'm having the same FOMO that you guys out there who are not attending are. But have stuff going on here. So have a great time in Strongsville. I heard it's going to be an outstanding show. So I have some stuff to talk to you about today. It's a lot of basketball and some football, some relic cards. There's some Jordan, some Kobe, Barry Sanders, Dr. J, Iceman, George Gervin, some funny stories, maybe a Jerry West or two. So if you like 70s basketball and up, and maybe a little bit really cool Barry Sanders stuff, you might like this video. So without further ado, here we go. So guys, looking to always do different things to my cards, and I want to talk to you about wins and losses. And I'm going to talk to you about some losses right now. First, you know, whether you're a dealer or you are an individual collector, we're always trying to better our collections. And you have wrestling with PSA or SGC. Here's an example. This beautiful Walter Payton. Picked up this Walter Payton, thought this card was a 9 all day. An outside shot at a 10, gave it to them in a submission that my buddy and I did, and it got minimum size requirement. Well, I was really kind of not happy with that, and I thought that's ridiculous. And so I measured it, and they were right. It's short. This came from a childhood collection of a gentleman who sold me a Jackie Robinson autograph. I did a video on earlier in the week. And I just didn't think that it was any chance it was trimmed. Well, live and learn. So what you should do is, what I do when I buy vintage cards is I take my trusty tape measure here and I measure the cards. I just presume that this was not short. And it's factory short. It's not trimmed. A lot of people say, oh, it's trimmed. No, the cards are factory short a lot of times. So take your tape measure, measure the cards. That's just a little tidbit of advice, and some of you guys do that already. So that was a disappointment because Walter Payton is one of my favorite players of all time. Best running back I've ever seen play. Sorry, Sanders fans. But this was just a bummer because, again, I thought this card was sharp as a tack. Along those lines, live and learn. Prism Jewel stickers. A guy online is selling Prism Jewel stickers, saying that they're real. These are tough. They look kind of goofy, but they're tough. And obviously the Jordan is the big one. But I picked up this Dr. J. I sent it to PSA, and it came back as questionable authenticity. The seller did do a good job. I let him know that this is how it came back. And he said, well, some of these passed PSA and some haven't. And he bought them all from the same lot. And I understand that, but he refunded me my money. And that was great. So he said, you know, keep the sticker if you want. Keep the sticker, I'll refund you your money, and maybe you can put it on your Trapper Keeper. So live and learn on that. Miscut of the day for football. Jim Brown. My father-in-law said this was the greatest running back that he ever saw, and anybody who said anything different doesn't know about football. I can't speak to that because I never saw him play. But he said, you know, he started watching football about 1950. He said there's nobody who came close to Jim Brown. Anyway, that's a miscut there of the day. Now we're going to talk about some football cards here. Barry Sanders, some pickups. This was a beautiful one. Now, you know, I like relic cards a lot. But somebody came up to the table with this. This is a 10 out of 10 patch card, flawless. Yeah, it's an 8, but boy, that is a unique piece. I'm not sure if that is a shoe or what. But anyway, I just thought this was a really, really cool Barry Sanders relic. And Barry is just unbelievable, one of a kind. So exciting to watch. Along the lines, the show recently, the front row show, somebody walked up with this bad boy. And I know it's pretty common, but, you know, he does charge quite a bit for autographs. And it was a rookie in a 9 and an auto 10. The guy gave me a chance to pick this up, and I did. Just a really nice auto there. And, you know, one of the all-time, I mean, it's a commonly printed football card, but still it is, you know, highly in demand. So I'm going to go through some basketball stuff right now. Modern, which I consider modern, Kobe and Jordan all the way back. But let's show you some cards first. You see my case behind me when I talk on my videos, and the card that is in this case was from, and I want to bring this up, a YouTuber, supporter of the channel, Marky C. He gave me this card back in 2022, and it's sitting up on my case. And boy, again, Marky, thank you so much. It's just such a cool swatch card of the Doctor, numbered to 99. Dr. J, the man. My favorite basketball player growing up. And in that same era, a couple of my favorite players, World Be Free. Loved Lloyd Free. And, you know, San Diego had a basketball team, the Clippers, All-Star. Love the All-Star basketball logo right here on these. And, you know, along those lines of World Be Free, Sweet D, who influenced Michael Jordan, went to North Carolina, living in Arizona. Walter Davis would come to our school when I was a kid. His wife was our school nurse. And he would come and he would do a dunk fest out on the basketball courts outside. We didn't have it. All the basketball courts were concrete with those chain link nets. And Sweet D would come to our school and do a bunch of dunks and talk to us about doing your best in school and keeping your grades up and, you know, don't drop out and all that jazz. But Walter Davis passed recently, but was just a fantastic ball player. And I have fond memories of him growing up. I'm going to put Sweet D in the background. Homage to Sweet D. And then some basketball cards. This is interesting because, you know, you got modern cards of vintage guys. And, you know, I tell people who come and sell them to me, you know, we don't care. Older guys who like Larry Bird autographs probably don't care that it's numbered or not. But this was just a super shiny, cool, fast break auto of Bird. Nice Bird signature. Some young man came up and said, hey, I have a lot of modern stuff, but I have this vintage guy, Larry Bird. I said, sure, sign me up. Sign me up. Kobe, this is a relic card I showed. I actually have two of these, and I submitted this to Beckett. It's a Fabric Reflections 18 of 25, dual relic, and I got it back from Beckett recently, and it got a 9. Now, the highest graded Beckett one is a 9.5, but of course, Beckett had to do this to me. They basically gave me as close to a 9.5 as you possibly could get. They couldn't just give me the edges 9.5 or the corners 9.5, and one more 0.5, this would have been a 9.5, and you know, one of two highest graded. But anyway, really cool Kobe Fabric Reflections card. So then I'm at the show in Phoenix, and I've got this one out and a Jordan, and this guy comes up and he says, oh, I see you have the Fabric Reflections dual. I have the triple relic. Would you like to buy that? And I said, again, sign me up. It's Kobe. Why not? Triple Fabric Reflections red. Now, it's only a 7. And he was wondering why it was a 7. And I think I figured it out. On the back, there's a scratch. You won't be able to see it really, probably. Maybe you will. But there was a scratch on the card. And this guy said that he goes to a card shop and they prep them for him. But I looked it over, and there's like kind of an indentation in the card that runs through here. But anyway, really cool Fabric Reflections Kobe, and more relic cards. Last relic card I'm going to show you is a really cool LeBron patch card. I think it's numbered to 25. Yeah, 25. You know, any of these patches, I had a Kobe patch like this too. They just move, and people love them because it makes them feel close to the player. This is from 2014, Panini Excalibur. It's a really cool patch. So enjoyed that. Now let's talk about some 70s cards. I came across a collection of 70s cards that had been in a storage unit in Phoenix here for a long, long time, probably 30 or 40 years. 75s, Tall Boy 76s, and some hockey from 75. And I got some of them graded. And this sweet Iceman got a 9. He's just looking cool as a cucumber. Second year, George Gervin. I went to graduate school in San Antonio, and as soon as I stepped off the plane in San Antonio, when we went to go visit, the first thing I saw was the Iceman poster of Gervin holding up the basketballs, you know, like he does, just holding the 2 basketballs from the 80s, the poster of the Iceman. A couple more cards here. We're going to talk about some star basketball cards, but first, somebody came up to the table with this beautiful Jerry West, and this 71 top set's fantastic. You know, as you know about you guys probably know about the NBA and Players Association. They had to flip their jerseys around for these photos in 71 and 72, and I don't know how long it went on for. But Jerry West, the logo, and this is just a really good looking card with a lot of pink background and PSA 8. So we'll put that right there. Now, star cards. I've had to become fluent in star cards recently because somebody walked up with a second-year Jordan that I bought. But this is the very first star basketball card. And I was at a card shop locally here. And the gentleman there had worked with me on this. And I saw this card, and I'm like, I must have this, Dr. J. This is the first star card. There are no 10s. PSA began grading it again relatively recently. They do not grade the second-year Jordan I'm going to show you here in a second. But star Dr. J, first star card that ever came out. So that's kind of cool. Star basketball card. That was 83, 84 set. And this is the last card I'm going to show you. Now, you guys are going to kill me, but a guy reached out to me on eBay, and I had a really nice PSA 6 rookie of Pete Rose. Now, I've had a couple Pete Rose rookies in this last year, and there's been a little bit of a resurgence and desire for Rose. So this gentleman reached out to me and said, hey, I got this Jordan. Would you want to trade? You want to trade the Pete Rose for the Jordan? And so I am very familiar with this card because I just had one in a 9. I bought raw. And I looked at it and I said, well, these subgrades are a 9.5, a 9.5, a 9, and a 9. And it's really a half a subgrade away from a 9.5, which is 40% more in value. The Rose was nice, but there's just a lot of Roses. There are far fewer of these second-year star Jordans. And a local microbrewery owner who I go into his place and we talk cards, he said to me, you know, George, when I was thinking about doing this trade, he says, nobody is wearing Pete Rose shoes. So, that's why I made the trade. Now, again, on the vintage end, I guess this is kind of vintage these days. But anyway, I just wanted to share with you some of these stories. Again, measure your cards before you submit them. They might be factory short. You have no idea. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep collecting.